Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with Trader Summit. I have Mr. Richard Matthews joining us today. We try to talk every week and we're pretty good at accomplishing that. And good to see you again. Dick, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm sitting in rainy old London and it hasn't stopped raining for like 24 hours. So
I'll take a little bit of that any day of the week here in the desert. And you can take some of my heat while you're at it. But anyway,
yeah.
Don't want to talk about the weather. We got a lot happening. The big news overnight, Fitch had lowered U.S. debt rating to AA plus from AAA. Is that what it was? Anyway, they lowered their debt rating in the U.S. debt, and it has moved the markets. You see equity markets a little bit lower. The dollar is surprisingly stronger today. What do you make of this price action? And in your experience, in when debt gets upgraded or downgraded, what are your thoughts here? And should the markets be thinking anything about this?
Yeah, there wasn't much of a reaction straight off, was there? But it has moved a little bit today. It's gone from AAA to AA plus. There you go, with a stable outlook, quote unquote. Yeah, I think a lot of this is political, and there's some. It just seems odd that Trump got indicted last night, and then this happens, and whether they're a little bit worried about politics in the States, I don't know.
Now I don't even believe in UFOs. I used to believe in UFOs, but after the U.S. government says there's UFOs, I stopped believing in UFOs. It's the whole right. You're trying to,
yeah. Yeah, maybe it's just reflective on how people see the States now. I mean, it does. I don't really like talking about politics, but I think they're both equally as bad as each other. So I don't mind saying that. And maybe there's a little bit of uncertainty there. There's quite a lot of debt issuance coming up as well, isn't there? I think that Yellen announced last weekend there's a lot coming out. So, hey, the funny thing is the dollar, because the dollar's reacted as a safe haven, which I just think is bizarre.
Yeah, we've seen the dollar strength. We have seen treasuries, blow through recent lows and yields rally, but it seems like it's letting off a little bit. And maybe that was a little bit of position adjustment in the market. But so overall, and based on your experience, do you think that this is a big deal at this point?
No.
Okay.
I think there's more important things going on in the world. I think there's an escalation in between Russia and Ukraine. I think whoever thinks it's a good idea to lob drones at Moscow is probably underestimating Putin. I think the war in Niger actually is pretty important and is not being watched at the moment. It's being waged by Russia's proxy army there, and it looks like it could drag the French into it and then the Dutch. So, something I'd be keeping an eye on. I just think that might be why the dollar's got a little bit of strength.
All right, that makes sense. It is interesting when you're watching the news and you're seeing the Nigerians waving Russian flags. I guess it warrants our attention.
Yeah, and it's strange because I don't know whether it's Wagner, whatever how you pronounce it, but that's his proxy army though, which I thought he'd fallen out with. So it's all a bit odd. And then Poland's, they're getting a bit close to knocking on Poland's door as well. So I just I'm not really seeing this too much on television news or people talking about it yet. It just unsettles me a little bit. And obviously, as we were talking before we started recording, this has a knock-on effect onto wheat, and it doesn't look a good picture.
Well, let's shift gears then and talk a little bit about the sterling, because we have the Bank of England tomorrow morning. I want to make sure that we get this video out before the Bank of England meets. Where do you stand? I mean, are they going to raise rates? Well, first of all, are they going to raise rates? And second question, I think that's an easy answer, but I think the second question is Bailey going to raise 25 or 50? What are your thoughts here? Because the cable's not acting so well. We traded below 127 today. So what are your thoughts?
Interesting, because to me, cable started getting sold after they last moved base trade up by 50 basis points. And it's been pretty much one-way traffic drifting down since then. I think you'll get a 25 basis point move. I think you could well see a three-way split on the MPC, with a couple of people voting for no change and maybe a couple of people voting for a 50 basis point hike. One of the Uber doves has gone, Tenreiro, who I had absolutely no time for whatsoever. There's a new member, Megan Green. I don't know how hawkish she is, but I think that they'll come out 25 basis points and come out the same as the other central banks and say, hey, we're not frightened of doing more if we have to. Inflation does seem to be dropping a little bit here, but it's still ridiculously high. We've just seen a 6.5% pay rise given to the teachers. The Chancellor of Checker has been playing around with tax on alcohol here, which is going to be inflationary as well. That he probably doesn't realise that. So I just think he'll do 25 and threaten to do more. And he
but if
will
you
have to...
but if you get a three-way split, wouldn't you view that as dovish?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd buy cable. I wouldn't buy cable. I don't see where your upside is at the moment, actually.
Okay. You mentioned Megan Green. She did a lot of economics, research and journalism work and economics research around Brexit. So it's going to be interesting to see her and what her role evolves into at the Bank of England, I think.
Yeah. I think that one of the problems is once you lose confidence in a central bank, then you've got a big problem. I've been harking on about this. Michael Brown always talks about how it raises my blood pressure, so he likes to mention the Bank of England as soon as he sees me. But they've been incompetent. Their press handling is unbelievably bad. After the last base rate hike, they announced they've just given out £25 million worth of bonuses to staff. Whoa, that's really clever. And then last week they've announced Bernanke is going to come in and look at where they've gone wrong. And I just rest my case. If they're turning to Bernanke to come in and sort problems out, they've got really no idea what's going on.
So your default position is sell sterling on any rally or sell sterling on a breakdown, or either?
Sell sterling.
Sell sterling. You don't care. Okay. All right. Fair enough. The last thing I wanted to ask you about today is we have a jobs report on Friday. It's going to be, well, we saw the ADP number today. It came in much better expected. I think, private payrolls here in the US, we created 300. Let me make sure I got my numbers correct. It would take me 1 second. We created 324,000 jobs. The market was looking for 191. So, as we go into the jobs report this Friday, the market's still looking for around 200,000 jobs. Average hourly earnings expected to dip a little bit. You think our jobs number here in the U.S. is still going to be pretty strong?
I think so. ADP is a rogue number, isn't it? It's not consistently a number that you can watch to give you a clue to ADP. To non-farm on Friday. But I think you're still going to see a strong number out of the States. But the wage growth is the one to watch, I think. But you've still got way to go there before the Fed gets right. Jobs was down a little bit. But again, there's still huge numbers of job openings there.
Okay. And I mean, obviously everybody's just waiting for that, for the economic data to start to roll over, especially from a labor perspective. And it just hasn't been the case. I mean, that just really hasn't been the case recently. But I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit.
What number are you going to shoot for Friday?
Well, after this ADP, I was thinking it was going to be, just under 200,000, but maybe it's a slight beat. I don't know. I still think that 200,000 is, I put it this way. I don't think the jobs data is ready to roll over yet, and I think we're not going to see that until the fall. But I may be wrong. I mean, everybody's been expecting, us to see some weakness in labor for many months, and it just hasn't been the case. So I don't think tomorrow's going to be the case either.
No, I'm going to go for my favorite bit of copy. I'm going to go for 2 and a Desmond.
For what?
I'm going for 2 and a Desmond.
2 and a Desmond.
Yeah, that's 2 and a Desmond Tutu.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, that was a new one for me. Call me a younger buck, but I missed that one. Went right over my head. Richard, it's times like these where experience does matter. So it does. It really means a lot for us in the Trader Summit community to meet with you every week and get your thoughts and ideas. So if you like what Richard says here and you have some comments below, if you don't believe non-farm payroll is going to reach 222,000, get down below and jump in the comments and tell them how you really feel. So Richard, I want to thank you so much for being with us this week, and I look forward to our meeting next week. Good luck with the Bank of England tomorrow.
Yeah, pleasure as always to talk to you, and looking for, I think we've got a special show next week, and we're going to do an odd one talking about cryptos maybe.
Phew, what do you know about cryptos there?
Have a good evening.
All right. Have a great evening, everybody, and thank you. Good luck.
Cheers. Bye now. Bye-bye.
Hey traders, Blake Morrow here. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also click the bell notifications so you do not miss any of our market-related trading analysis from some of the leading industry experts. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you in the next video.